Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da. You're not gonna miss this one. We are reacting to European stereotypes. I'm actually really curious about this one. So let's go! Yeah.
Europe.
Oh, I know those driving things. What the heck is that?
Every Midwestern white girl's favorite continent, and also a region chock full of stereotypes. In the past, we've explained them all, from every and any country in the Balkans, no matter how small. That's cause you're not a country.
Bullied,
Today,
alright.
we're going further and farther than any man has gone before. That's right, baby. We're going to talk about Western Europe. Now, if there's one single country in Europe everyone collectively enjoys making fun of, then that's France. If you've spent any ounce of time on the internet or watching TV, you've probably seen something like this.
I've worked for 3 years in human resource.
I'm not consider myself as a fluent.
The union involves a strict responsibility and a deep solidarity.
An odd guy who typically speaks with a heavy nasal European accent that can be quite snobby, rude, full of himself, and in need of a lung transplant by the age of 35 from all the chain smoking. Usually the French are associated with quite a variety of negative attributes, majority of which were assigned to them.
What's wrong with French people? It's full of... Sorry, with France, it's full of French people. Oh my god.
By none other than the British. Before the 19th century, for the last 800 years,
Poor
the favorite
French
pastime of the British and French was trying to wipe each other off the map. Sometimes the English would colonize them, sometimes they would colonize
It's
the
just
English.
a free-for-all,
Really
and
matter.
everyone just
The
picks
point
on
is, during the
France.
time of French rule, and later on regular rule, a lot of the ruling class were of French or Norman origin. As the ruling class tends to do, they focused on distinguishing themselves from meager peasants by doing weird activities and taking a liking to fine arts. Because of which, even to this day, a lot of vocabulary for arts, law, fashion, politics, gastronomy come from the French language. Thus, as any normal sound people, the British saw this ruling class as absolutely pretentious and full of themselves, and then ended up subsequently assigning the stereotype to the entire nation.
Jesus.
Nee,
They got
jij
smug.
krijgt een enkeltje naar de rijstvelden, jij vuile sodomiet!
Known across the continent as
Oh. It's interesting that they are seen as snobs. That's their main stereotype.
Swamp Germans for their language that sounds like German from a fever dream and their habitat that consists of unusable
Swamp
marshlands
Germans,
they
oof.
somehow turned usable. The Dutch are another group of people
I would've
across
thought
Europe like
Netherlands.
To the less
Like, for me, I think Netherlands stereotype is just tall.
informed, the Netherlands is a home of stoners, potheads, and crazy European casual sex. Most of this image comes from the tourist's impression of Amsterdam due to its hundreds of special coffee shops and infamous red light district. Yet
And brownies. Don't forget the brownies.
despite this, the Dutch are actually some of the lowest regular users of the devil's lettuce in Europe. However, a more prevailing stereotype
That's 'cause they
about
have
the Dutch is that they are
brownies.
stingy. As a common joke in Belgium would put it, how does a Dutchman make a cake? He goes to his neighbor to borrow 4 cups of flour, 3 eggs, a cup of milk, and etc, etc. Because of the stereotype, in English, there's a term going Dutch, which means splitting the bill evenly.
Really?
Because apparently, it is a cardinal sin in the Netherlands to treat someone. During house parties in the Netherlands, every guest only receives 1 cube of cheese and lunch meat, rather than a nice full platter. I don't really know where this stereotype originates from,
Oh.
but if you do, please let me know in the comment section down below. It's also a great stereotype that the Dutch are the bluntest people on earth. In Dutch, there's even a word for it,
Bespreekbaarheid.
meaning that everything can and should be
Bespreekbaarheid?
spoken out loud. So, if you've got a major insecurity that's caused you never to post any pictures of yourself on social media, then you better avoid the Netherlands. It is believed that this stereotype comes from
I thought going Dutch was not wearing underwear. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've heard going Dutch. as an expression.
the country's Calvinist identity.
But yeah, that's
Within the
commando.
Calvinist Church, individual efficiency, reliability, and honest self-introspection are greatly encouraged. So, because of this, the Netherlands became, well, blunt.
Without Attica from Germany, everybody would be lost. The country is responsible for the holographic map.
If there's one country in Europe...
Wow. The bait and switch. Alright, Germany, beer. If it's not beer, I don't know what it is.
Nay, the world, that everyone has something to say about, then that's Germany. Some of
Oh, and technology. Beer, technology, and a stickler for rules.
the more global stereotypes about the Germans are that they're obsessed with rules and order, they can't
Germans are kinky. Wait, you guys think Germans are kinky? Nah. Really?
stand not being punctual, and if a train leaves by just 1.5 minutes later than
Really?
it's supposed to, they have a brain aneurysm and die. And
Man, we really must be on a different level of stereotypes.
of course, they lack more humor than a graveyard filled with babies. Interestingly enough, it seems that quite a bit of today's modern German national character can be tracked back to the man who ruined Europe and is single-handedly to blame for the existence of megachurches. Martin Luther, the Protestant reformer. Alongside being known for nailing posters on churches and trolling the Catholics, Luther was also quite famous for his love of books and beer. In addition to this, he was also known for his love of order and rules. One of Martin Luther's best-known quotes is
Stickler for
"Ordnung muss
rules."
sein unter den Leuten," meaning there must be order among the people. And as you know, Luther and his teachings were embraced by Germans with open arms. Thus,
Dude, like, Germany has so many little rules and things that they need to fill out, paperwork and stuff to do before they do anything, that some people find it extremely oppressive at this point.
as a result, characteristics associated with the Pope's greatest enemy also got associated with Germans. These stereotypes of orderliness and rigidness further got associated with people due to the Prussians as well, due to Prussia being a highly militarized society which valued order and discipline. As such, the Germans today will never live down the jokes of not being able to have fun and only giving their dogs a total of 10 allowed barks per day.
Are you from Austria? No.
10 allowed?
Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Oh, poor Austria. That is so true though. Everyone thinks they're German. Oh, oof, I felt that one and I'm not even Austrian.
Thinking, Janos, why are you putting in Austrians here as well? They're just German's light version. And yes, you're right for the most part. A lot of the stereotypes that are associated with Germans are associated with the Austrians as well. However, while we perceive them as the same people, in the German-speaking world, this could not be further from the case. Believe it or not,
I'm like, as much as it's a running gag and a joke by people, they're like so different. Like, when I think Austria, I think ski. Like, or Australia just because of the memes, but I think ski.
in Germany, the Austrians are considered as the extroverts and friendly bunch. I know, it's wild, isn't it? Because of this and their tendency to be more rural and because of their funny accent and dialect.
Hallo? Ich mag das 2 Bier bitte und ein Weißwein Schorle. Oder, sehr Chef. Oder, ja, komm mit 2 Bier und eine Spitze bitte.
Many Germans also stereotype the Austrians as being hicks. The stereotype is so bad that Arnold Schwarzenegger, a native German speaker, wasn't allowed to voice himself in the German dubs of his movies because of the negative association with the Austrian accent.
Like it down there. Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired of the same old faces. The same old thing.
Like it down there. Fütyűz, bazd meg és hazudsz. Mert egy szar szemét szar alak vagy.
Porque había llegado el 18
Oh
tiqui,
my
tiqui,
God.
Cuando iba saliendo de mi casa ya me estaban esperando.
Now, although this region of Europe consists of several distinct peoples with different histories, cultures, languages, and penis sizes, in my years of hard and tenuous research, I have come to the conclusion that everyone in Europe sees Southern Europeans the same way. One of the first stereotypes is being laid back and lazy. In particular, Spain is characterized by this the most. A leading theory for this origin is the custom of siesta. Originally, this custom came to be when most of Spain worked in agriculture. Due to the hot Spanish sun and hard back-breaking labor, it became a normal occurrence to take a nap in the middle of the day between work hours as a way of avoiding the hottest part of the day and recuperating one's strength.
It's fascinating that the siesta is what Spain's known for. I'm just like, this is news to me. I'm just like shocked. I'm just like shocked. I'm just like, what? Man, I view the world completely different.
And seeing that for the majority of European history, Catholics and Protestants were at each other's throats and fighting God knows how many wars, the trope of the lazy Catholic spread across the continent. In Italy, the same stereotype can be applied in the south of the country. The northerners, who have a milder climate and are less open to the concept of fun, are characterized as being more similar to the Germans and Austrians. As a result, the South Italians as being lazy, backwards, and basically the Balkans 2.0. These
Oh my god! What? Man, my view of the world is being shattered by how other people see countries. For me, Spain, I just see them as the place where you go for like sunshine and for sangria. That's kind of all everything, like stereotype wise. I'm just like they tend to be very open, very friendly people. And then Italy, they're the people that gesticulate a lot, like the hand movement. That's kind of like it. I see Spain as a place to go to work. Yeah, a lot of people do over here. It's like we go picking strawberries in Spain.
These stereotypes further spread as the southern Italians were the main group that migrated to America from the peninsula, spreading those stereotypes to the US as well.
By sunshine, I mean the simple fact that they tend to be very positive people. Like everyone from Spain that I've known has been positive, accepting, welcoming, nice, and just, I don't know, it's just a vibe. That's what I mean, like sunshine, not just actual sunshine. It's a warm country, and they're very warm as people. So that's my stereotype of them. That's how I see them.
Perkele, siihen koske, saatana vie.
From the warm and sunny beaches of Iberia and Apennine Peninsula, we head north into the lands of snow, damp socks, and no sunshine, which somehow, despite everyone's abuse of antidepressants, is still somehow labeled as the happiest place on earth, Scandinavia. Despite being depicted as a fun-loving, jolly old puppet chef on the Muppets, the Scandinavians have a reputation across Europe of having the worst food ever concocted. Because the land is, unsatisfactory and the climate is less than ideal with a short growing season, there isn't a whole lot you can make yummy delicious food with, so they're kinda stuck with rank fish in a can. Who knows, maybe that's why they take so many antidepressants. They're also known for being obsessed with heavy metal, especially their version of Hungary, Finland.
Actually true. Like, yeah. Metalheads, fish, cold, and reserved people.
Why is this the case? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with making up imaginary problems when your country is so perfect in every single way, dealing with staying inside most of the year, something about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't f***ing know. And yeah, that would be Western Europe. I know, not nearly as fun as the Balkans, but what can you do? Anyways, what are some of your favorite stereotypes from Western Europe? And are there any stereotypes I missed? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and click the subscribe button. And if you really enjoyed it, become a member like these wonderful people. Or go and check out my merch at theironicsshop.com.
This was a fun
my name
video,
is Janusz,
honestly.
and you watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Na, 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 na. Da, da, da. Da, da. You're off! That was fun. That was a fun video. Thanks YouTube for hanging out and for watching. I'll see you next time.